I can solve and prevent the same murder across 2 timelines.
What? What? If you asked me to make a bingo card of the games I would want and or expect to come out, a Life is Strange sequel involving Max would have been so far down the list because I never ever thought they'd do it. And yet, here we are. Oh, wow, okay. So, hello everyone. If you're used to the Payday content, this might be a bit of a weird change of pace. However, those of you who've been around for a while will know how much of a very personal love I have for this franchise. So I will be doing it a disservice and myself a disservice if I didn't at least talk about it. The irony of this whole thing is that I watched Summer Games Fest live on stream on Friday night, didn't think it was that good, and then on Sunday thought, maybe I'll stream the Xbox show, but I went out to Liverpool because there was a cool Taylor Swift themed piano that I recorded a song cover on, which I'll probably put on my channel I have for singing videos at some point, if you care, you might not, hence why I'm wearing this t-shirt. So I had earphones in, listening to the show on the train, and I heard Max's voice, and at 24 years old, I have no shame in saying I just started crying straight away. Let me set a bit of context here. Life is Strange is the first game that I ever said definitively was my favourite game of all time. I absolutely love this franchise with a burning passion. I love most of the games. Life is Strange 2 I have a very complicated feeling around, but I love Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, and True Colours. I think they're all absolutely fantastic games. They're definitely an acquired taste. I know there are definitely a lot of people who will be watching this or not watching it and thinking, ooh, I'm not into those games. But to me, the combination of the vibe around them, the music, the setting, the story, there's just something about them that screams to me on a very personal level, and Life is Strange has been a very recurring theme in the Redcast. I've interviewed Max before, her actress, Hannah Tell. I've interviewed people from Before the Storm, from True Colours. I literally have a mural on my wall, by the way. I'll put a picture on screen now of the giant Chloe t-shirt wall art I have on my bedroom wall. It's one of the first things I put on here when I got properly set up in this room about 3 years ago. I just have such an investment in this whole franchise. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought of the trailer for Life is Strange Double Exposure. But obviously the main focus has to be Max Caulfield coming back. So if you don't know what Life is Strange is, a very, very brief explanation. The very first game came out in 2015, and it was a Twin Peaks style murder mystery about a girl who learns she can rewind time and uses it to basically save the life of her best friend. And they go on this murder mystery solving adventure together across 5 episodes. It was an episodic game back when Telltale was still doing Telltale things. I'm imagining this one won't be episodic because the last one they released, True Colours, also wasn't episodic, but it was just a journey you go across with these characters. It was choice-based, much like a Telltale game. The choices didn't matter too much, but it never really bothered me. It was always the journey that the game took you on. Here we go. This will make my point clear. So this is a Polaroid camera that I own, that I got because I got into Polaroids through Life is Strange. I have an album full of them. Look how many Polaroids are in that book. This franchise did this to me. It got me into Hollywood and new music. It made me appreciate storytelling games even more than I already did as someone who loved Telltale's The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. If you ever want to see me play the games, I have playthroughs of every single game uploaded on my YouTube as live streams, as a playlist. I'll put it on the front page of my YouTube again, and I'll link it in the description if you want to watch me play any of them. Most of them are second-time playthroughs, but I still think they're just as worth watching because I kind of explain different bits about the game and give personal stories about it and all that stuff. But anyway, let's talk about this game in particular, Life is Strange Double Exposure. The thing that interests me the most about this, beyond Max returning, is that it doesn't seem to reference the first game at all yet. I don't think that's a sign of things to come. I think there will be ties into the original game, but the most important part is, spoilers, skip ahead if you don't want to spoil the first game for yourself if you're just getting into it now after hearing me talk about it. The first game culminates in this great big choice where a tornado is going to rip through Arcadia Bay. It's the town that Max lives in, and she can either stop the tornado but watch her best friend die, or save her best friend and watch this whole town go to ruin. Now, to anyone who is uninitiated, you might think, of course she'll save the town. But believe me when I say I think most people chose to save Chloe rather than save the town. There's a bit of a polarizing thing there, and I think the thing that always stopped people going back to make sequels on the game, any studio, was because they didn't really want to canonize one of the endings, and I wonder if they still won't do that now. Because in Life is Strange True Colours, there was a DLC episode called Wavelengths, which actually did quite well on this channel, to be fair, looking back on it. But they asked you what your choice was there, and some of the events in one section of the game were based on whether you saved Chloe or the town, and it would adapt on that. It wasn't in depth and detail detailed enough for it to matter either way. It was just a nice little touch based on your choice. And I have to admit, my first impression of that is that I am a little scared they'll do that again. If Max chooses to save Chloe, you would expect full well they would still be friends forever and would stick together forever. I know that obviously life doesn't work out that way, but for a character pairing like that, as iconic as they are for anyone who's even heard of these games, splitting them up would be a really strange choice. It might be that they've canonized Chloe dying. I think if they were going to canonize one of them, it probably would be killing Chloe. The only other thing to bear in mind that I've just thought of, though, is that in Life is Strange 2, depending on your choice that you make as to whether you saved Arcadia Bay or Chloe, at one point in the last episode, you can see a picture to show that they're still together and still traveling. So, in a lot of ways, I can't see them canonizing an ending, and that's why I'm so confused and so unsure as to how this is going to go, because that will leave it open, and if they don't really make the most of that, that's going to be a real waste. So I guess we'll find out. Honestly, I could be getting super worried over nothing, and it might be they actually have a proper scene or a proper chunk of scenes that account for both options. Like, surely Deck 9, having done the stuff they've done with Life is Strange, know how much Chloe as a character matters and will incorporate her or not incorporate her based on the choices people made. Deck 9 are the studio that have made 2 of the 3 Life is Strange games that I really love. Life is Strange Before the Storm, which I do think is a bit underrated. It's not as good as the other 2, but it's a really good character piece for Chloe and another character, Rachel Amber. But particularly Life is Strange True Colors, I absolutely loved that game. I really loved their take on the formula. It did feel a lot like the first game, but refreshed. But I liked seeing the way they write and present the characters in this series, so I do have faith that they can deliver something really good there. I'm just not sure about the whole lack of Chloe. But beyond that, getting to see Max use her power again, see it be used in a more expanded way, seeing alternate timelines. I mean, multiverses are all the hot topic at the minute. Everyone loves doing multiverses, but I think having just one parallel timeline and lining up with the game is something really good. I think that's going to work really well for this game, and just seeing Max work with both of them, I'm down. I think that's going to be really, really cool. I like the idea there's going to be a whole new cast of characters. I like the idea that there's going to be a new setting, because that's what Life is Strange does best. No game stays with the exact same cast of characters in the exact same setting, and even with Max returning, it's not going to be a carbon copy with all the same characters. I don't think that would be for a second. I mean, the plot is that her friend gets murdered and she's trying to investigate her death. Thankfully not Chloe's, good grief. There'd be a riot if it was her, let's be fair. But it seems like beyond that, there's going to be a lot of new, fresh faces, which I'm excited for. Let's have a look at the trailer page to see if there's any information we can pull up. I did go on their website, but it doesn't seem to have updated with any news about the game, so I guess that will update very soon. Is there anything in the description? Life is Strange Double Exposure will be available in 3 editions, Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate. Players can pre-order the Ultimate Edition now to gain advanced access to Chapters 1 and 2 on October 15th, 2024, 2 weeks ahead of the release of the full game. No! Why are you doing that? I'm someone who likes to just sit down and play the entire game full length, end to end. I don't want to have to spend 2 weeks dodging spoilers because they release 2 chapters ahead of time. Oh, that's horrific. I'm not a fan at all. There's more information underneath though. Max Caulfield, photographer in residence at the prestigious Caledon University, discovers her closest new friend Safi dead in the snow, murdered. To save her, Max tries to rewind time, a power she's not used in years, but instead Max opens the way to a parallel timeline where Safi is still alive and still in danger. Max realizes the killer will soon strike again in both versions of reality. Only Max can shift between the 2 parallel timelines to solve and prevent the same murder. Wow. Okay. There's Carleton University in Ottawa in Canada. There's almost no way she's gone there. It could be based on that, though. It did look snowy. There's Glasgow, which is not in the UK. So it seems like it's made up, but it doesn't say where it's set. Here we go. There's a blog from Square Enix that's given us more details on it. This is brilliant. Let's have a little look and see what it says. New players need not worry, though, because Life is Strange Double Exposure is a fully standalone experience that requires no knowledge of prior games to play. Okay, alright. The bio is pretty much the exact same thing, so there's no new information there. You can see more information on June 13th at 5 PM UK time. When is June 13th? Oh no, I'm away then! I was going to make a video literally about this to go up on Tuesday to say that I won't be able to make a video on the blog on Friday because I'm having a couple of days away. Oh, as if. Oh. There's also a Square Enix store exclusive collector's edition of the game that can be purchased separately or alongside whichever edition you prefer, with a limited edition 12-inch vinyl soundtrack from the game in its core. It's the perfect bonus for any fan. Well, I'll be buying that then, fair enough. I'm looking for other stuff and I can't seem to find anything else, so I guess we'll find out. But I've got to be thankful we've only got 4 months to wait till it comes out. But either way, that's everything we know right now. We'll find out more from this live stream on June 13th. As I said, I'm going to be away for a couple of days. I'm having some time off with friends. I will see what happens. If they announce a big load of stuff and I think it's worth making another video, I will do so. I don't imagine this video will do very well, but if you do watch this and you're still watching now, I love you dearly. Thank you for that. You're the best. But I'll just see what they say on June 13th and go from there. I'd love to react to it live, but I just won't be able to, unfortunately. So we'll see what gets said and go from there. But thank you all very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all very soon with another video. Look after yourselves, stay safe. Thanks for watching.